I've got a bit of a confession to make. I'm actually quite nervous about the results of today's video. Here's the deal, when you get a canopy, especially one as massive as mine, it's easy to get carried away with the fit out. You kind of think, well, I've got all this space to use, may as well make the most of it. So you start adding things like drawers and fridges, second batteries, water tanks, a tent on the roof, pretty much all the stuff to make your camping life easier. But the downside to adding all that stuff is you're adding more and more weight to a vehicle that probably wasn't designed for it. So every vehicle has a GVM, or a gross vehicle mass that it's rated to, and that's the maximum weight the vehicle can carry, including its own weight. So my Ranger has a GVM of 3,050 kilos, which means fully loaded, full of fuel with all my camping gear, I have to weigh in at under 3,050 kilos to be legal. But to be honest, being legal could be the least of your worries if you're over your GVM. If you want to find your vehicle's GVM, it should either be on the compliance plate under the bonnet or in your manual, and it's a pretty useful figure to know. So if you haven't already guessed it, I'm on my way to the local weighbridge to find out exactly how much everything weighs. And don't worry, I haven't forgot the canopy, there's a reason it's still at home. My basic plan is to weigh the Ranger as it is without the canopy on, then I'll go home, grab the canopy, head back down to the weighbridge and find out how much the overall weight is. That way I'm going to know my overall weight, and I'll also be able to work out how much the canopy weighs by itself. I'll also be announcing the winner of the competition. If you guys watched last week's video, you'll know that I'm running a competition to win one of the new Exploranger hoodies, and I asked you guys to have a guess at how much you thought the canopy would weigh. So we'll find out and we'll figure out who the winner is of that competition. Alright, here we are, moment of truth. Time to jump on those scales and find out just how much we weigh without the canopy on. Any guesses before we jump on the scales?
Oh. just the car?
Just the car.
I think, I got no idea. 2.24?
2.24 tons. Yeah. That's actually pretty close to my guess. I was going to say 2.2 on the dot, and that gives me about 850 kilos to play with for the canopy weight, so maybe it's more wishful thinking than anything else. But I reckon let's rip this band-aid off, jump on the scales and find out for sure. .16 tons. I am honestly stoked with that. That's obviously less than I thought it was going to be. You too, even less than you thought it was going to be, I guess.
Yeah, less than my guess.
And important to note as well, that was with pretty much a full tank of fuel. The car's got a bull bar, rock slider side steps, second battery under the bonnet, all your other standard four-wheel accessories, a passenger, and you know, all that adds up pretty quick. So let's go home, grab the canopy and get back down here. Why is it not filling up? I just can't work it out. Oh, she's bubbling now. Alright, so we're back again now, this time with a lot more weight on the back. So we've dropped the canopy on, and to try and be as accurate as possible, we've thrown in all the stuff we'd normally take camping with us. So I've put in the chairs, the table, half bag of firewood, filled the water tanks up as well. Pretty much everything we'd normally pack when we're going camping, which kind of makes me feel like going camping. The only thing we haven't allowed for is like our clothing bags and also contents of the fridge, so our drinks and cold food and stuff like that. So I'd probably allow an extra 50 to 100 kilos on top of whatever these scales are about to read. Speaking of, what do you reckon we're going to weigh in at?
I reckon the canopy is going to be 678 kilos.
All right, so Bianca reckons looking for a figure of what, around 2.8 tons all up then, if you add the 2.16 we weighed in before.
Something like that,
So
I can't do the maths.
close to 2.8. Yeah, I'm a bit more optimistic. I think the canopy probably weighs maybe 350 to 400 kilos. So we're probably looking for a reading of 2.5 tons thereabout, which would be great news because that would mean we're more than 500 kilos shy of that GVM. But we can guess all day long. Good luck to everyone else who's been guessing to win those hoodies. Let's jump on these scales and figure it out. .68 tons, fully loaded with everything, all the camping gear and the car obviously, so I'm pretty happy with that. That gives us about 300 kilos under GVM, which is great. Yeah, so Bianca's got the calculator ready to work out exactly how much the canopy itself weighs.
Yep. So we had 2.68, I can't do maths, so minus our 2.16 without the canopy, and you get 0.52 kilos.
Wow, that's a pretty lightweight canopy. Yeah, so 520 kilos that canopy weighs. So if anyone's wondering how much their canopy weighs, this is a 2.1 meter by 1.8 meter canopy, 860 tall, rooftop tent, completely packed with all our camping gear, drawers, fridge, battery, full water tanks, 35 liters of water, battery, everything pretty much except for our clothing and fridge contents, so that would probably add an extra 50 to 100 kilos on top of that. Yeah, so now we're just gonna jump on home. I'll get all those entries from the competition to see what you guys were guessing, see who's the closest to that 520 kilos. Let's go home and figure things out. Okay, we're back in the garage and we've just been having a read through all your entries for the competition.
Yeah, there was so many entries, like 40 or 50 of them, so that was really cool to see. Thanks so much for doing all those.
Yes, so many entries, and the funny thing was that most of your entries are actually closer to the actual weight than either of our guesses were.
Yeah, definitely, we were way out, so.
Yeah, and basically because of the amount of guesses we had, and because the scales at the weighbridge only went to 2 decimal places of a ton, so only to the nearest 10 kilos, basically we've got 2 entries that when rounded come to 520 kilos. So we kind of figured instead of trying to pick between those 2 winners, the only fair thing to do was to give you both a brand new hoodie. So congratulations to the 2 winners. Bianca's got their information handy.
So we had SouthernSon4wd at 522 kilos and Greg Griffiths at 517 kilos. So
yeah, so really close guesses.
Yeah,
awesome
great
work, guys. It's amazing that you managed to get within like 5 kilos of the actual weight of the canopy. So if you guys can jump across to exploranger.com.au, check out the colors we've got available, check out the sizes we've got available. I'll then reply to your winning comment, get your color, sizing choice, and get your postage information, and we'll send you both out a brand new Exploranger hoodie.
Yeah, and for anyone else, if you didn't win but still want one, you can just jump across to the website and buy one. It means a lot to us, so yeah.
Yeah, and thanks so much to those of you who have picked up one already and shown support for the channel. That really just means the world to us.
Yeah, it's so good to see. And if you're ever out wearing them or you have a photo of them, feel free to tag the Exploranger Instagram. It'd be so cool to
that'd
see
be
you guys
amazing
out
to
there
see.
and sharing it. That'd be fantastic.
Yeah, so thanks so much to those of you who have bought one so far, and thanks so much for watching.
Yeah.
And I guess we'll catch you in the next one.
Happy camping.